Mahomes' ultimatum. Is the trade mandatory or will a locker room explode? What I'm about to tell you hasn't reached the newspapers yet, but it could blow up any moment. What you are about to read is the brutal analysis that the Kansas City Chiefs front office is trying to ignore. Time is running out. The need for a massive trade is no longer an option. It is an ultimatum to save the Super Bowl. Imagine trusting your team as a colossus, but discovering that with every game, the fragility on the edges of the offense and defense is yielded. With the lack of an elite Bauer, the Chiefs' offense relies on 80% play action to compensate for coverage. The imaginary close-up on Patrick Mahomes' face after a crucial drop shows the emotional consequence. An empty stare. He knew that the system failed to give him the tools. But the worst had not happened yet. The pressure for the trade deadline has set social media on fire. The hashtag #TradeNoVich already has over 300,000 mentions. The drama is about the failure of scouting. An anonymous high-ranking source in the locker room leaked. The mood is us against management. Mahomes is visibly frustrated with the lack of reliable targets and the weight on his shoulder. This is not a rumor. It is a silent revolt. It was leaked that two defensive veterans requested management to reinforce the defensive end to relieve pressure. The problem is collective. The imaginary print would show a tweet from an analyst saying, "The Chiefs play every Sunday with one hand tied on the edges. This is where 90% of viewers give up. Don't be one of them." The Chiefs are playing the chess of inconsistency. The statistic is brutal. The Chiefs' wide receivers are among the last in the NFL in separation yards. And the defensive end duo, excluding Jones, has the lowest combined pressure rate in the AFC West. Does it look like a spreadsheet? No. It is a sentence of stagnation. The comparison is cruel. It's like having a jet airplane, but with paper wings. The worst part. The Chiefs are the only contender that refuses to go all in the year Mahomes is at his peak. The imaginary cut would show the QB pressure graph dropping sharply along with the camera. With Vich's face, "But what if I told you that the mandatory trade is not for OER, but for a defensive end that Vich tried to hide?" Insider reveals. Vich's priority target is an elite pass rusher, not a wide receiver. The bold hypothesis is that management is using the Ryer narrative as bait for the market, while closing a massive trade for a D who can restore pressure. The name no one is talking about is a defensive end who is having contract issues with his current team. The hidden clue. Look closely at the play at 2:14 of the last press conference. Andy Reid only used dink-and-dunk plays to take pressure off the defense. Almost no one saw it. But it was the tactical signal that the real problem is the lack of pass rush. Is Mahomes being used to deflect attention? If you found that shocking, wait for what comes next. And that's when General Manager Brett Veach, off the record, whispered to a scouting executive, "I need the trade. If we don't do this, Mahomes won't explode the locker room. Hell, explode my desk." The camera didn't catch it, but the forgotten microphone in the meeting room caught the confession. The powerful mental image is of a cracked wall with the Chiefs' logos and Mahomes' face furious. The unexpected twist is that Veach has a draft picks package already pre-negotiated for the trade, and the trade deadline is just the day he will be forced to pull the trigger. Pause here. Breathe. Because what comes next changes everything. And now I ask you, is the trade the Chiefs' last chance to win the Super Bowl, or the final confession that management failed to build a balanced roster? Leave your opinion, because the comments here will decide if the trade should be for a WAR or a D. Comment your if the priority is the offense, Comment day if the defense needs help. And if you thought you saw everything, wait. Tomorrow, there's the revelation of the secret name of the past Russia Veach is target. Subscribers only. Hit the bell, because next week's bombshell will explode your feed.